So, what happens when we die? I mean, really, what happens? It is the question, isn't it? It's a question that has haunted and inspired humanity for as long as we've been around. Today, we're going to explore two incredibly powerful and totally different answers to that very question.
Think about it. Is this it? Is death the end of the line, a final full stop? Or is it more like a connecting flight on some grand cosmic journey? The two philosophies we're looking at today don't just offer theories about the afterlife, they completely change how you might see your life, right here, right now.
And here are our two paths. In one corner, you have the idea of a soul making a one-way trip, a grand return to its divine home. And in the other corner, a totally different idea, a stream of consciousness, a river that just keeps flowing from one life into the next. Let's start with that first path, the soul's journey home. To walk this path, we've got to travel back in time to 11th century Persia and meet an incredible thinker, a philosopher and poet named Nasser Khosrow. He laid out this absolutely stunning vision of what our soul is and where it's ultimately going.
This one line, it really sums it all up. For Khosrow, every single one of us is living this dual reality. We have this physical body, which is temporary, it's just part of this world. But then there's the soul. And the soul, well, the soul is just passing through. It's a traveler, and its real home is somewhere else entirely.
Khosrow calls this soul the nafs. Now, try to picture it. It's not something that's created with your body. Instead, think of it like a single drop of light, a spark from a much greater, divine fire. It's immortal, it's individual, and it's just been placed inside this physical shell for a while. Its one and only purpose? To find its way back to the fire it came from.
Okay, so if the soul is a traveler trying to get home, how does it get there? What's its map? Well, according to Khosrow, the map and the engine is something he calls the akal, or the intellect. And this is crucial. He doesn't just mean being smart or book smart. The akal is a divine gift. It's the tool the soul uses to see clearly, to understand the world, and to learn. By gathering knowledge and wisdom, the soul starts to purify itself, letting go of all the temporary stuff of the material world, preparing for its final journey upward.
So the journey looks like this. It's not a circle, it's a straight line, up. Imagine the soul is like a hot air balloon. When it's here on Earth, it's weighed down by ignorance and attachment to material things. But every piece of true knowledge and wisdom it gains through the intellect is like cutting away a sandbag. The more it learns, the lighter it gets, until finally, it's free. It just ascends. It goes up, returning to its divine source. Khosrow calls this the ma'ad, the return.
This is a beautiful, powerful vision, right? An individual, immortal soul striving to return home. But hold on, what if that's not the whole story? What if the very foundation of this idea, the permanent, individual soul, is just an illusion? Let's take a sharp turn and explore a philosophy that starts by tearing that whole idea down. Our second path takes us into the world of Buddhist thought, which presents a radically different model for what happens after death. And it all starts with this core and honestly pretty challenging idea of no self. Okay, get ready, because this one is a real mind-bender. The doctrine of anatta says there is no permanent you, no core essence, no little pilot sitting inside your head pulling the levers. If you really truly look for a solid, unchanging self, you won't find one. It's like trying to grab a handful of smoke. What we call me or I is actually just a process, a constantly changing, flowing combination of thoughts, feelings, memories, and physical sensations. So you're probably thinking, if there's no soul, what in the world continues after death? And the answer is kama, or as most of us know it, karma. But we have to be careful here. This isn't some cosmic judge with a scoreboard. Think of it more like a law of nature, like physics, but for consciousness. Every intentional thing you do, say, or even think creates a ripple, an energy, a kind of momentum. And when the body dies, that momentum doesn't just disappear. It propels that stream of consciousness forward, shaping whatever comes next. And this analogy just nails the difference. So often we hear the word reincarnation, and we think of a little soul person hopping from one body to the next, like changing outfits. But Buddhist rebirth is something far more subtle. It's like using one candle to light another. You see, the flame on that second candle, it isn't the exact same flame as the first. But it's not totally different either, is it? It was caused by the first. There's a direct continuity, a transfer of energy. That's rebirth. No thing moves across, just an unbroken process. All right, so we have a soul climbing a ladder back to the heavens, and we have a flame being passed from one candle to the next.
two completely different maps of reality. Let's put them side by side and really see where they line up and where they just completely diverge.
When you lay it all out, the fundamental split is right there at the top, the self. For Khosrow, you have a solid, real, immortal soul. For Buddhism, you have a temporary process, a no-self, and that one difference changes the entire game. The mechanism is different too. One is a climb powered by knowledge, the other is a flow propelled by action. You can even see this debate echoed in Western philosophy. Khosrow's view feels a lot like Plato's idea of an eternal soul that came from a perfect world of forms. Meanwhile, the Buddhist idea is strikingly similar to the philosopher David Hume's bundle theory, where he argued the self is nothing but a bundle of perceptions. And look at the destinations. A grand reunion with the divine versus nibbana, the complete extinguishing of the flame, the end of the cycle of suffering. They couldn't be more different.
Hey everyone, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Drop a comment below, I'd love to hear what you think. Your support really means a lot and helps me keep creating content for you all. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
Okay, so we've got these two maps of reality that seem to be pointing in completely opposite directions. But here's the most incredible part. They both lead to the exact same conclusion. What you do in this life matters. It matters profoundly.
Let that sink in for a second. In the Buddhist view, your actions aren't just things you do. In a very real way, they are what you are. They're not like your house or your car, which you can leave behind. They're your only true belongings. They're the ground you're standing on right now, and they're building the ground you'll stand on tomorrow.
And look at this, Nasser Khosrow says almost the same thing, just with different language. For him, there's a divine justice at play. Every act of loyalty, every act of harm, is seen, and it has a direct consequence on the soul's ability to make that final journey home. There's no escaping the spiritual weight of your own actions.
This is the point where these two paths, which seemed so far apart, suddenly converge. It doesn't matter if you see yourself as a soul trying to get lighter or a stream of consciousness being propelled forward. In both systems, the moral quality of your life, your thoughts, your intentions, your actions, is the engine driving your cosmic journey.
So, we've traveled from 11th century Persia to ancient India, exploring these vast, complex ideas. But philosophy isn't just a mental exercise, it's meant to be lived. So let's bring all of this right back into this room, right back to you, right now.
Just for a moment, forget about whether you believe in a soul or not, in rebirth or a final return. Just try on the core principle that both of these incredible traditions share, that every single thing you do, say, or think is a cause that will have an effect. That you are, in this very second, literally building the person you will be tomorrow. If you really truly live that way, what would you change?